Okay. Um, we have tools. And of course, I wrote a book called Tools for the Awakening Soul. No coincidence that word tools is in there that contains a lot of tools that I use and that I work, I share with clients: meditation, connecting with higher guidance, developing intuition, moving through the ego stories, the thoughts, the beliefs. Um, those are some of the most important tools right there. Then there's the emotions that come up, and how do we, process any emotions that we're experiencing. Taking action, super important, taking risks, um, putting ourselves out there. These are some, strategies that have worked for me and that I continue to use for myself. There's thunder. I can hear the thunder. Um, But so the key is that we often forget to use the tools, to use our tools. We forget to quiet our mind. We forget to pray. We forget to ask for help. We forget to not let some of those really mean, nasty thoughts come in our mind and start to, eat away at us. And here's the thing with the Lion's Gate and just in general, the energy, our thoughts are starting to manifest instantly, for better or for worse. So, I wouldn't go crazy with that sort of, worrying about that. Like if we start to think, oh, something bad, that we're going to make that bad thing happen. I think, it would have to be a persistent thought on a regular basis for a regular period of time for that to happen. But I have seen and heard of this happening, as I'm sure you have too. But what it can happen is, we can start to create a reality, for better or for worse, through our thoughts. Just the other day, I had a client and we were talking, she was talking about just this thought that was coming up, for her, that was a real sort of negative thought. And I was helping her kind of really look at that. Like, do you really believe that? Can we come up with a new thought to kind of take the place of that? I'm starting to believe that this, what is that? That's not totally true, because so even it may seem kind of silly, but our thoughts are so powerful. So if we're going around thinking things like, nothing works, or I can't do anything to help myself, or nobody understands me, or things like that, those sorts of all or nothing thoughts, they can really start to have a damaging effect on our vibration, and it can start to even be a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? We believe nobody understands us. Well, guess what? That's going to start to become like where they really might not actually understand us, because we're creating that, we're putting out that vibration of not being understood. So, I think for myself, what I've been noticing, and what I've been practicing in the past few weeks, and it's been helping, is just this concept of acceptance of what is, versus, trying to, um, change and fight what's coming up. So it's a paradox, right? Because I just said, we want to change our thoughts, we want to change our beliefs, we want to work on that. And on the other hand, yes, we do. But on the other hand, sometimes there's just a cycle that we're going through that we haven't quite, that it hasn't been revealed to us yet what the learning is in that particular time period of our lives. But we know that there's something we're meant to be learning. Usually, some of us do. Probably those of you here listening are aware that maybe, oh, there's something's happening here. But we don't know how to get through it yet. And in fact, maybe we're not even meant to get through it yet. So that's kind of what I'm getting at here, I guess, is, even though we know that, we're struggling, say we're struggling, and hopefully we're using our tools of quieting our mind, trying to clear away the thoughts, bringing in, prayer, asking for help, surrendering, connecting with light. And by the way, that is a very powerful thing to do. I particularly like angels because they can help shift energy when we just ask for their help. I do it all the time. I can tell you some crazy stories, um, of then, even if we can ask for help in that sort of a situation of, I'm really struggling right now. I don't know why I'm feeling like this. I know there's something I'm meant to be learning, but I don't know what it is. Can you help me? Archangel Michael or Archangel Raphael or just the angels. Can you help me learn? Can you help me see what it is I'm not seeing? So I can move through this cycle. And just that intention of seeing what we may not feel like what we're not seeing. We know there's something we're not seeing, we don't know what it is yet, but we know it's there, right? Asking for that help to see that can start to shift the energy. So things start to be revealed. We start to have a new perspective. Something starts to shift. So at the same time, so we ideally we're doing all those things at the same time as we're surrendering and moving into a place of acceptance and not fighting where we're at and saying, well, I know I'm going through this struggle. I may not understand why it's happening, but I know there's something that I'm supposed to be in this right now, and I'm supposed to be learning from this. So that's the kind of serenity, the serenity and surrender and acceptance that I personally have found helpful, and I have witnessed that as well for clients. So two things can be true at once. That's often the case in life, that there's a paradox. There's one thing that we're striving to be better. We're trying to improve ourselves, which is the nature of being human, self-actualization, at the same time as we are accepting that we are perfect as we are. And can we love and accept ourselves as we are, in our imperfections, in our mistakes, in our struggles, in our learning? Excuse me. And so how can we hold those two sorts of intentions and vibrations at the same time? That's the beautiful paradox. So let's do meditation to try to connect with that energy, shall we? So, okay. I'm gonna bring the mic a little closer now. So let's just settle into wherever you found yourself. Had some popcorn earlier, and I think it's still stuck in my throat. All right. Let's hope it gets out. So you can close your eyes and just begin to take a few deep breaths in and slow breaths out. Breathing in light, breathing in expansion, and slowly exhaling out any heaviness, any stuckness, anything that feels incongruent in your body. Just set an intention to let it go through the out breath. Now just settling into a natural awareness of your breath. Connecting in with your innermost self, your inner being. Noticing how you're feeling, noticing how your breath is flowing in this moment. And just like we were discussing earlier, can you begin to just observe what is? Any feeling that's present in your body, in your heart, or somewhere else in your body. And not push it away or wish it weren't there, but simply just notice it. How am I feeling right now? Can I just be with that feeling? Can I allow it to just have its moment in the sun? Can I allow that feeling to express itself? It has information for me. Maybe you can even label the feeling, spelling it out. What is the feeling I'm having right now? I'm experiencing right now. And just allowing yourself to settle into that awareness. You may become aware as you're doing this that you're not doing this alone, that you have a team of guides, of angels, of masters, your own higher self, all connected to the source of all that is, to God, that they are witnessing you. They are with you. So just take a moment just to tune in as if you're tuning the knob of a fuzzy radio station, just tuning in. And we can do this often through a question. Who is here with me? What is around me? What sources of love? Just take a moment, notice what you pick up on. Is there one that you feel or become aware of, one particular guide or divine being? Just taking a moment. Just thanking whoever you're aware of or whoever you feel. And even if you don't feel the presence, just know that they're there. Just thanking them for being here and thanking them for helping you navigate this time and navigate these experiences and emotions. Just notice if there's some outside energy that you feel comfortable allowing in your body in the form of light or of energy that you open up to. It can come in through your heart like a beautiful wave, or through the top of your head like a flow of light, like liquid light being poured in. Or maybe in another place in your body in another form, but just allowing yourself to open to energy of pure love, of only love, to support you in navigating any heavy emotions that you're experiencing or have experienced. What would it feel like for you to ride the wave of energy through the emotions? Just exploring them, being curious, and maybe they're being alchemized, maybe they're being transmuted. How can you allow divine love to help you in this time. Just taking a moment here, noticing what happens as you open up to that possibility. Allowing this gentle energy to flow through you. It's the energy of peace. Even though I may not be the person I feel like I can be, or even though I may not be doing what I feel like I should be doing, or even though I'm feeling something that I don't want to be feeling, or I'm thinking thoughts that I don't want to be thinking. Even though all those things may be true, can I still accept who I am? Can I still ultimately love myself for all that I'm doing, for all that I've been through, for just being here and showing up and getting up every day? Can I honor all that it takes for me to be human in this time? Can I accept that this is all true at the same time? Just sitting with that awareness, with the opening of your heart to self acceptance, to unconditional, which means without conditions, to unconditional self love. We're being wrapped in love and comfort, just like that beautiful divine feminine energy of Mother Mary, just holding us, nurturing our inner child. And just feeling a sense of peace. All is well. Allow yourself to rest. And taking a deep breath in, slow breath out, just begin to come back into your body. You can even give yourself a nice hug. So good to do that. Just rubbing the sides of your arms, maybe stretching out when you're ready. And I always like to come into gratitude, as some of you know, just bring your hands in prayer position to your heart center, or fold them over your heart, or just leave them in your lap, whatever feels right. Just taking a moment just to give thanks. Honoring yourself, honoring these beautiful divine guides, honoring the space. you're doing the best you can, and that is enough. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Holding those intentions deep in your heart, you can begin to stretch out, coming back into your body, moving your hands and feet, and opening your eyes. All right. Oh, I'm always curious what comes in for others. So if anybody wants to share what was coming in, feel free. I'm curious. I will share that I've in this intuitive guide program that I teach. Is this 10-month program. We're a little over halfway through, and there's a group of 10 people who, are learning with me. I'm teaching them to become intuitive guides. Anyway, and in our program, one of the students decided that every Sunday it would be lovely if we each sent light to somebody in need of healing. And he just plans it, and we just every 1 o'clock at 1 o'clock and every Sunday we just kind of most of us, if we can, we sit down. We're not talking, we're just in our own little worlds wherever scattered around the country, and we just send light for 10 minutes to whoever we've come up with that needs it. And we're also sending it to each other, to the students in the class now. But one of the I was doing this for somebody on Sunday, and St. Francis of Assisi came in for this person. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with St. Francis of Assisi, but he was a saint and was just very beautiful, divine masculine energy, and all about just animals, like loving animals and the natural world. Um, and it was interesting because I was connecting with this person, and it was a man who was receiving healing, and I was like, there's this interesting energy coming in that I can't, who is this? I was just feeling it's very gentle, divine, feminine. And I was just like, I'm just curious what this was. And I came up with St. Francis of Assisi. The next day, I went to do some work outside this library near us. And this Episcopalian church had this beautiful garden courtyard. And I was like, that looks like a nice place to sit down. Found a little picnic table, started doing some work, and statue right next to me, guess who it was? St. Francis of Assisi. And today that's who came in, St. Francis of Assisi. So it's just interesting for me. He's coming in for me now, right? And I've been just so deeply connected for a while, as probably a lot of you are, to nature, but a lot. Like I've seen hummingbirds and all kinds of like mice recently. I don't really see mice just running around the woods, but I've seen some mice in the woods, in the wild, and these tiny little creatures, these tiny little gentle creatures. So yeah, it's interesting when there's these beings that come in that are helping us with what we're working on. Because I'm just always connecting in with trees and water, and like deeply connecting. And so it's fascinating to me that this wise sort of master, who I would, that's how I kind of refer to him, I guess, is coming in to help me with that. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. There's this great book, if any of you don't know of it, it's called The Complete Encyclopedia of Angels and Guides and Divine Beings, or something like that, by Susan Gregg, Gregg. It's like it has pictures of all these different saints and angels and archangels and different sort of gods, goddesses from different faiths around the world. There's like Thor in there. There's, Freya, there's Merlin, and all kinds of different archangels. And of course, St. Francis of Assisi. And it's really interesting because I've, flipped sometimes to the book and a different page, and like, oh, that's the being who I was just connecting with. Or it's really interesting, some of the characteristics that it describes in that book. So check that out. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap up. It's already definitely gone past time here. What do I want to share with you all? I have a few things I'm working on now that some of you might be interested in: a hypnotherapy certification program, which is starting in September. Good group forming for that. I'm doing a sliding scale for two people that, may be interested that have any financial need. I've decided that feels like the right thing to do now. So there's, I think, still one of those. If anybody's interested, let me know in terms of sliding scale, or it's a 9-month program. And it's going to be cool. If you want to learn how to be a hypnotherapist, there's the thunder and the rain. That's my cue to go. It's starting to come down really a lot. So anyway, there's that. I'm going to be doing a free past life healing online class, a workshop, just like an hour-long workshop in the end of September. Retreat in October. There's still a few day spots left. The overnight ones are full. And I'm sure there's other things I'll be planning. I've been really focused on planning this hypnotherapy program. It's the first time I've ever taught it. So it's a lot of work, as you can imagine. But in the meantime, if any of you want any support, Akashic Records, hypnotherapy, clearing some of that stuff, you know where to find me. So, all right. Many blessings. Thank you all for being here. Bye.